Have you cut the cord and are feeling bored with your streaming services? CuriosityStream can help. With thousands of documentary films and TV shows, let CuriosityStream put the science back in your screen time, astound you with history come to life, and wildlife that will reach out and grab you. We've got the fix for your nonfiction addiction. Watch us on any device, anywhere you are. Visit CuriosityStream.com to sign up and start streaming now.
Let's go Buffalo! Bring your own spirit to football season this year with Svedka Vodka, proud partner of the Buffalo Bills. Find the flavors and cocktail ideas that complement your party and get the vodka for true Bill-Leavers for all your game day get-togethers. Shop delivery and pickup options today at Svedka.com. Get ready for an unforgettable season with Svedka. Enjoy responsibly. Svedka 2021 Spirits Mark I, San Francisco, California. Vodka distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume.
It is a Patriots Friday here at WEEI, and Devin McCourty is brought to you by Zudy. Build any app your company needs in 1 week. Visit Zudy.com for details. Also brought to you by Shaw's, Perfecting the Art of Fresh, and by Catches Law Group. And he joins us this morning on the Harbor One hotline. Hey, Devin, how are you?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Doing great. You guys are all well trained when it comes to saying the right things. Do your job, and this week is no different than any other week. But I wanted to ask whether there is any kind of a feeling when it comes to this team that this game Sunday is really when it comes to hoping to be a playoff team, that they're hoping to turn this into a successful season, that this is a must-win game for you guys Sunday.
No, I mean, I think a lot of people always say, you guys say, like you just said, you say which is, but overall, I don't think guys are thinking that far. Guys have been so wrapped up in the season and, how we've been doing week to week that I think just coming off of last week, it's all right, how can we continue this? How can we work and get what we got done last week? How can we get that done this week? I think that's been more the focus. Honestly, guys aren't talking about, if we can make the playoffs, we need to do that's just not a thought, in the locker room right now. And I would say throughout my NFL career, people just don't think about that yet. Hopefully you're in the picture when that time of the year comes, but I think right now we've just been focusing on, how we can go out to L.A. and get a win, which we know it's not going to be an easy task to get done.
I mean, guys are talking, including you, about this team being better than its record. When you say that, what do you mean?
I haven't said. To me, that doesn't matter. I think we were on here a couple of weeks ago when I said, it is what it is. You can be better than your record. You can be worse than your that. It doesn't matter because your record is what it is. That's how we're viewed in this league. How your record is, and everything comes off of that. So I think we've done a good job of no matter how you feel, of just getting to work and trying to get better and trying to get wins because ultimately that's what it comes down to.
You guys have a very good game against the New York Jets last week where you go out there and you hang 54 points on them. You're able to win that football game. But you know how people are, fans, media people. It's about looking at the opponent. Now, you got a team like the Chargers, very good opponent. When you're heading into a game like this, in that locker room, do you say, hey, here's another test for us against a really good team, a team that potentially could be making the playoffs? It's time for us to go out here, put a game together, and beat a good football team.
Yeah, I think one of the things we talk about is the challenge of this week. This is, like you just said, it's a good football team. We're going on the road. They're going to be at home, and they've played really well this year. They lost to Baltimore before the bye week, and, a really close game that came down to the end against Dallas. So I think we know the caliber of team we're facing. I wouldn't say it's really in comparison to playing the Jets last week. I would say just kind of as you play these games and you go on the road and play a team like the Chargers, I think we're fully aware, and I would say especially on defense, just how many weapons these guys have out there with Herbert behind center makes it really tough to defend everything they can do.
Devin, how does the routine change going out west compared to an East Coast game? I know when I went out west or had an early afternoon game, it's the big decisions. Are you eating breakfast or lunch before the game? How do you get to bed the day before? What does your routine change? How does it change? What does it look like going west?
Yeah, I would say this is different too, because going west we go a day earlier and things like that. And I know Kevin Falk always taught me, you build your routine and then you just switch it to the day. So even a day like today, you just make up time of, all right, this is a Friday, and usually I'll be home in the evening, but I won't be home. But as soon as Saturday hits, I just got to get back to my Saturday schedule, no matter if that's in New England, if that's in L.A., as long as you get to that schedule and try to, do the familiar things that you're doing. I would say as a staff here in New England, everyone does a great job of getting the things that we need, no matter where we are, on the road, at home. They find a way to get, like, everything that the guys do, usually from a day-to-day standpoint, get that for you. And I'll say that makes it a lot easier for when we do travel on odd days.
Devin, speaking of breakfast, would you say that someone who eats spaghetti for breakfast, like your quarterback, has food issues?
No, I think it's like you just talked about. One of the weird things is guys like to eat the same thing before games. And some guys do that no matter what. So even like our 1 o'clock games, we go down to breakfast. I see guys with like grilled chicken, spaghetti. See, I'm like, what are you doing? It's breakfast time. But they're like, this is what I eat before every game. So it's whatever routine you kind of get into.
Devin, when you look at this game and you say Justin Herbert, this kid is kind of like on the rise and being one of those quarterbacks. I know this is his second year in the league, but he already looks like he could be one of those guys who could be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL one day. What are you guys trying to do out there defensively to try to make things difficult on him? You did a good job last year, but obviously last year is last year, and it's another year of growth for him and maturity. So what's the main focus on, all right, what do we have to do to make him uncomfortable back there?
Yeah, I think it's like you said. I mean, you give him another year. He looks like an even better player than he looked last year. So we just got to do a good job of getting to him, even if we don't sack him, but just trying to make him feel the pressure throughout the whole game. And I think one of the things, even that we talked about last week, when playing Wilson, it shows up this week too, of just not allowing him outside the pocket to buy time. He can make plays when he gets outside the pocket, and he can roll, look down the field. He can make every throw. His arms are incredibly strong. So we got to make sure that we don't let that become an issue as well. But no, he's a really good football player. And I think it's one of those games where we have to be consistent, has to be play in and play out with him, because you can't play well for a quarter or two. I think that's going to be enough, because he's going to keep coming. I mean, Bill talked to us earlier this week about how they scored the most points in the fourth quarter. And I think that lets you know a lot about their offense and about Herbert.
I haven't been able to find my abs since Ronald Reagan was president, but I wanted to check in and find out how yours are.
I'm great, man.
Okay, all right.
You're doing great.
Healthy? Everything?
He's one of them small guys, so, the abs are right there. As big boys, we were looking for them. Well, at least I was looking for mine.
I don't think, when was the last time big-boned Prince found his... Devin, did you happen to see Wiggy dressed for Halloween as big-boned Prince yesterday by any chance?
No, I didn't.
I will send you a photo.
Yeah, it's all over social media.
Are you guys dressing up? Are you guys doing the Halloween party that you always do?
No, I mean we'll be in Cali.
No, but I mean next week it used to be a big thing. Somebody would always have a Halloween party, right?
We've had a couple, not always, but we've had some pretty fun moments here. I don't know if that'll happen. You can't really celebrate Halloween after Halloween. It could be before, but after, kind of reaching.
Great point.
That was Moss's big thing. We used to do it a lot in Minnesota, and then he brought it over here. So, Devin, I saw your podcast, Zoomcast with Martellus Bennett, and I remember Wesley Walls telling me this, play tight end for Carolina. He goes, listen, I may not like everybody out here, and I don't like everybody out here, but I can count on you. I want to be able to count on you. And then Martellus Bennett had some choice words for Jimmy Garoppolo. What was your take on, playing with Jimmy Garoppolo, playing with a guy like Martellus Bennett?
I would say, one playing with Jimmy, I thought was awesome. I think as an older guy, seeing him come in as a young dude and just work his butt off, obviously being behind Tom and all of that comes with that. And I thought it was awesome just seeing him get his opportunity and lead this team and how well we played in that 4-game stretch was great. And then playing with Marty's my guy. And I think what you love most about Marty is you never know what Marty's going to say. It's going to be straight from the hip. It's going to probably be usually outrageous, but it's enjoyable. I mean, even from time to time, I just FaceTime him, and we'll go on and talk for like 45 minutes, an hour. And it's really me just listening to him because once he gets going, you can't really stop him. So, but I would say he was a super competitive guy who got us better, I know, going into that 16th season, defensively lining up against him and Gronk in the red area was a nightmare. So really appreciate him and our good friendship now.
Devin, when it comes to the secondary on this team struggling a little bit as a captain, as a guy on that side of the ball, what have you been saying to these guys about what you guys need to do to fix that?
Struggles in what department?
I feel like if you were going to identify, let's look at Cowboys throw for over 400 yards. Let's look at the defense. I think in general, if you're going to identify an issue, you might say the secondary is struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I would say dating back 2 weeks ago of just playing against a good offense, you gotta play good for a whole game. Like we had stretches where we played well, but like I said before. Even going into the Jets game, the extended plays against good quarterbacks and good receivers, that'll never work. You'll never have a good game extended time and not doing a good job of plastering receivers and things like that. So I think overall, as a defense, we just got to continue to do a good job in the passing game of linking rush and coverage. Times that our rush gets there within 3 seconds and does things like that. We got to be on guys. We got to be able to combine those things. So, but in this league, it's about showing up every week. It's about continuing to play. Like every game is not going to be a great game. Like you're going to go against some good offenses. That sometimes I get your number. You just got to reset and come back and play the next week.
Devin, when you're in those situations like against Dallas and the team's throwing the ball well and the defense is giving up some plays, what are some of those conversations like on the sidelines, especially from you, a leader of this football team, where it seems like, all right, wait, we're giving up way too many yards? What are some of those things that you're telling those guys in that moment, in that game, so we can kind of get a better understanding what the thought process is from the defense in a situation like that?
We just talk about keep playing. I mean, I think we've played in games this year where teams have run the ball and been effective that way. And the same thing, like we come to the sideline, we try to fix the problem plays, fix the things that have gone well, and then I would say ultimately we try to bow our necks, and if they have a good job of playing well in the red area, and we know how that can make a big difference in playing well there. But I would say from a defensive standpoint, whenever offense is moving the ball, it's all about not panicking. Like it's usually a couple plays in a drive that make the difference. We talked about not letting that happen, and then you get back out there and play. Like there's no big like mystery on what we need to do or like let's all like throw this away. It's just kind of like let's keep playing. With game plan, we know what we need to do. Is just let's play a little bit better, and I would say that usually makes a difference. In some of these games that we've played. But I think essentially we've continued to talk about like how we can be consistent for 4 quarters. And I think that's what we have to try to do, especially this week.
Devin, before you go, Tom Brady said this week, and I'm paraphrasing, that you may wonder why guys play defense, and then if you get into a defensive meeting room after about 2 minutes, you go, yep, they could never be an offensive player. Would you agree with that statement from the great Tom Brady?
I guess in some sense, but he wasn't talking about me, so.
Devin's not
There's some of those guys in the room then. We get it.
Devin's
Some
not
of those guys in the room.
Devin's not one of those guys, see ball, find ball, get ball.
You basically said defense is like a dog chasing a car. I mean, do you feel like that is a kind thing to say about you and your ilk?
I don't fully know. Like, I don't know if he's just talking about the complexity of offense, so I don't fully know that part of it. But, you know, that's Tom. You know, he always has some things he has to say about the defense.
All right, Devin. Well,
Hey, he did say you guys are much tougher than the offensive players, so we hear that.
That's true. All right. Well,
See, Greg was going to leave that out.
I'm trying to. You know me. I'm always trying to get a good quote. You know how that works, Devin. I'm trying to see if I can start something. All right. Well, listen. Good luck Sunday. Get out to the West Coast, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
New on Curiosity Stream. After man landed on the moon, what did all the rocket scientists do?
Hey, let's build a rocket that is simple in concept.
Pushing technology in ways that make today's rockets possible. It's Fly Rocket Fly. And one Mexican drug lord made himself a household name with cunning and savvy.
His business sense is worthy of a Harvard degree.
It's the origin of El Chapo and the CEO of Sinaloa. They're new this week on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are just $20. Visit curiositystream.com.
The Medicare annual election period deadline is almost here. I'm Meredith Vieira, here with examples of people who started their search for coverage at myhealthpolicy.com. Meet Larry. He likes doing things online, so he started
at myhealthpolicy.com. I took my time and found the coverage I was looking for. And done.
Next is Mary. When she wanted answers, she picked up the phone.
I wanted a local perspective on plans, so I called myhealthpolicy.com and done. Switched to a better plan.
And Michael.
I met with a local licensed insurance agent face-to-face and done.
Go to myhealthpolicy.com to compare top-rated Medicare Advantage plans in your area, including $0 premium plans, or call 1-800-GO-START. That's 1-800-GO-START. Meredith Vieira is a paid endorser. KF Agency operates myhealthpolicy.com, not connected with or endorsed by the U.S. government or the federal Medicare program. A licensed insurance agent may call.
Fall Value Days are going on now at your local Value Home Centers. Shop our lowest prices of the season on everything from paint to storage, plumbing, winter prep, and so much more. Shop in-store or online at valuehomecenters.com and let our experts help you with your next project. Value Home Centers has always served the do-it-yourselfer, so whatever you're working on this fall, Value, your hometown team, is here to help.